drinking out of a vase there for a second.
It's just a big old cup.
We don't have a lot of rules, like restrictive rules.
I don't have to raise my hand to go use the restroom then.
No, but we'll cover the conversation if you got to do that.
Okay.
Or you can use a bottle because we can't really see anything below your chest. So.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's Rasputin here. We're live with two great guests. Stephen, of course, from Patty's Potato Peeler. Thank you so much for being with us, Stephen. And a special guest, the Knife Doctor, Kevin. And man, I'm just so excited to have you, Kevin. I don't know. I watch your videos and I have all kinds of questions. So it may get uncomfortable, a little uncomfortable for you.
Well, I hope I can answer them.
But, you really don't have to answer any question you don't want to because, heck, Kamala Harris doesn't. So why should you have to? So
political, edgy.
Patty, let's go to you. What you got to say for this week?
Well, much like you, I'm really excited to see Kevin.
I didn't do that on purpose. I didn't see you pick up your biscuit.
I'm really excited to see Kevin, and just to let your crowd of subscribers get a chance to talk to Kevin, because if you haven't seen his channel, it's the Knife Doctor. It is one of the best channels to watch, especially I think for UK people, because he spends a lot of time going around second-hand shops, as we would call them over here, going in, finding knives. Some of them have got broken blades, they're not great. He takes them away and then he cleans them. And he's fast, he's succinct in what he's saying, and I could sit and watch him for hours. Literally could sit and watch him for hours. Fantastic channel. He has blown up since he started, and he has earned the right to be as good as the subscribers he's got. He's fantastic. Not many channels like that sort of excite me, as much as what Kevin's has. And that's not me kissing his backside. I just genuinely think he's a good channel. So I'm looking forward to finding out the answers to all your questions.
Well, hopefully you've got a few too. And
thank you for that, Patty. I appreciate it, buddy.
I'm Irish. I'll forget my questions before the end of the show.
And Kevin, I know you can't go anywhere. That's one of the things I've seen in your videos without signing autographs or anything like that. But why don't you, for those rare people that may not know who you are, why don't you let us know what you do and what you're all about?
Okay, well, I just like to go and find knives in need of repair. My saying is saving lives of old knives, and I believe that the history of a knife, sometimes it just I stutter some, so
that's okay.
Bear with me. Sometimes the history amazes me when I look them up, and I just like to save all I can so future generations can enjoy them. Not only me or my kids, but everyone. I always like to try to give knives away, and it's fun to do that. But I like to go in pawn shops, antique shops, flea markets, yard sales to find all the broken knives I can, and I also like to buy good knives too. Just for my personal collection. But I like to bring them back home and clean them up the best I can and repair them the best I can. And it's just fun. It's just really fun.
You've started to get in. Oh, try.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, you've actually started to buy quite a few more modern knives recently, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Is that something you're going to progress on, or is it just a week?
I've always collected them older knives, and my buddy Wade, like ever since I got back in touch with him, we lost contact for a while, but but we're back contacting now, and he loves them Spydercos, and he's made me fall in love with them Spydercos, them USA made ones, and
yeah.
And if I love a knife, I find that I love it, I'm going to buy it. But and then the one other the rabbit hole that I've started just down is the Great Eastern the cutlery knife made in Titusville.
Yeah,
they're just absolutely gorgeous, and I can't help it,
That'll make it poor.
Those knives not only are new, but they look old timey. You know what I mean? They're building them like they used to, but they're immaculate, and they are pricey. But I'm gonna buy one every now and then. I've come across a good deal on 3 the other day, and I'm gonna buy 2 more next month, and I'm gonna slow down just because it's the same guy. He's holding them, and he's gonna let me buy them. So the modern knives, I'm starting to enjoy those more, but it's not my passion. I'm not saying I won't buy some more. If I come across some I will, but it's mainly the older stuff that I really love.
Yeah. I love modern knives too, but man, I tell you, since I started collecting these traditional knives, it's hard to love a modern knife the way you feel about a traditional knife. They just feel different. They look different.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know, man. It ain't the same once you hit those traditional knives.
Right. And another thing about the old stuff is too, a lot of people love that super steel that they're coming out with all the time. And I do too. I like it, but I'd rather have a carbon steel blade any day. They're easy to sharpen. They hold a sharp edge, and I just love the carbon steel blades.
Yeah. Let's be honest, even the basic stainless steel they used to use, it still took a good edge.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's no reason to have a Magna, but I have them because I'm a knife nut, but I only have about maybe 8 really good knives that are locking knives. I've got a few Ganzos and things like that to fill the gaps for the channel, but I carry pocket and I carry traditionals every day.
Right.
Well, Kevin, I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to answer this question, but man, I can't even. You must put out at least 5 videos a week. A lot of times more than that. I'm wondering, how many knives do you think you pick up in a month's time?
Oh gosh, in a month's time, I've never really thought about it.
Yeah.
Is that counting the ones that folks send in, or?
Yeah. And the stuff you pick up, and I realize, not all of that is part of, knives you're collecting. I realize that, but just overall, how many would you say you're picking up a month?
Wow, that's a good question.
How many send-ins do you think you get a month?
Easily 30.
30. That's what I was thinking. About 30.
And then I end up buying probably another 15 to 30.
I was just about to say there.
It's really hard to say. I've had to since I bought the GECs last week. I'm kind of waiting till around here for another week or two to go hunt for some. I'm just going to be opening up some the packages right now, and
where do you keep them? I mean, are you keeping them out in your new workshop, or
I have a like the ones that need to be repaired. I just got them like in a few tubs. The ones that are good are in the house in my collection. The ones that for the auction are in the house for because I do tunnels for towers, the auctions too, with a lot of those knives. It's not like I'm hoarding them. There's quite a few here that's coming up. I'm having a tunnels of towers auction September the 10th. And if y'all don't know what that is, they help first responders and veterans after 9/11. So we're going to do one September 10th in honor of that. And then I'm having another one in October, the first week of October. I haven't picked the date yet, just to help pay for the venue for the knife show. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you talk a little bit? I know you do auctions for charity. Why don't you talk a little bit about how that works and that the mechanism you use, right? So the format that you're using, I've looked into that a little, and then also how you make the decision on what charity that it goes to, some of your thoughts that go into that, and how I know a number of people send things into you to be auctioned. So just all of that.
Yeah, a lot of the subscribers out of the gracious of their heart, they'll send stuff in to be donated to the auctions, and there's a lot that they just gift me that I in turn also give to the auctions, because I have a bunch of knives, man, and I have 2 or 3 of each, and I try to send some of the good stuff over to the auctions. But I use Whatnot, and it's a live auction, and I try to do about 30 to 35 knives, and you have to take pictures of them and write descriptions, upload them, then you have to mail them off. So it's a good bit of work there, but it's well worth that, because I've already given Tunnels of Towers, the knife doctor and the followers, the subscribers have given Tunnels of Towers so far this year right at $6,000.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've given another charity on Mother's Day in honor of Mother's Day. It's called You Are a Gift, and they help mothers who are addicted to prescription drugs. And that one auction that I did for them was right at, it was 1,700 and something.
That is fantastic
Figure, but we're going to do that every May in honor of Mother's Day. But the rest of them has just been for Tunnels to Towers. And, and again, I use the Whatnot, and it's really good. It's really
okay. So if I wanted to participate in that, right? How do you go about that? You just look up Whatnot on the internet, or do you have to download an app?
It's actually an app that you download. It's Whatnot, and then you look for me. I'm at the Knife Doctor. It's DR instead of spelling it out. But that's my channel there, and you can follow me. I've created next month's show. It's September the 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And I plan to have about 30 knives. So,
do you actually host it, or is it hosted by an auctioneer?
No, sir. I do it.
Right.
I get on there and show the knives, and each knife. Once you start the auction lasts for or the bidding on that knife lasts for 30 seconds, unless someone gets in there and bids more than what it would have went for. Let's say 2 or 3 seconds left, then it jumps back up to 10 seconds. So it gives plenty of time for people to auction off. It ain't like eBay where you can go in there and at the last second steal it away. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
So in the last second or two, if somebody bids substantially more, is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Automatically adds another 10 seconds.
That's correct. That's correct.
And you're seeing that live time saying, okay, folks, we got another 10 seconds to go on this knife.
Oh, right? you see it live, and it's very exciting. Like we call it, somebody got sniped. You know what I mean? The winner. He thought he was going to win, and they got sniped, and the price went higher, and it went back to 10 seconds. So it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I call that addictive.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That's the problem with eBay. I mean, you get in there and you don't want to lose, and so you end up. One of the things I let people know is if you want to sell money, look at the knife decide ahead of time what it's worth to you and stick with that. You know,
That's right.
And if it ends up you don't get it, oh well, because it wasn't worth it, right? You're already deciding what this knife is worth. If it's worth $100, why do you want to spend 140 on it? And
Right.
it's easy to do, man. You get caught up in them auctions. I've been there.
You do.
It's
See, our
competitive.
eBay, we don't have eBay auctions here. You just go on and you're buying from the seller.
Right.
It's a one-to-one transaction with the seller. He'll either say yes or no. And eBay for us is very little knives now. They just don't allow many knives on it.
Well, you can go on American eBay.
Yeah, but then by the time you get the postage on top of it,
Yeah.
you're taking away the bargain that you would get if you were just buying it there. So
Right.
it's not worth it.
Right.
What we
Unfortunately,
need to do, Kevin, is take a trip over to England and have a mini show over there for the English so that they don't have to pay,
like we only have
$50 in shipping.
We only have one proper knife show in the UK a year that's of any size. The one good one. It's got usually about 60 tables, 70 tables. But a lot of that would be custom makers. But it's a great show just to meet people. I went last year for the first time, and oh, what an up! So that's what I was going to talk about your show that's upcoming.
I was going to say that's a great segue. You're pretty good at that, Stephen.
Our one's a great show, and I've met so many good friends from that show last year. And one of them's actually on my podcast now. He never had a YouTube channel. In fact, the two boys that are on my podcast don't have YouTube channels. So it's lovely to get people on a channel that don't have a channel. They're not comparing to anything else. It's just fresh, and they take it's lovely. And one of them there at the show last year, and we're back again this year. I'll not miss a year now, I don't think, as long as I can get there. It was such fun meeting people. Very strange when people keep coming up to you going, "Hello, Patty, how you doing?" And you have no idea who it is. It's a very humbling experience, shall we say?
It is. It really is.
Patriot
I just went.
Said 2 Marines and an old Irishman walk into a bar. It sounds like a joke, don't it?
Yeah, don't forget the old Irishman was the Royal Navy.
Yeah. We know how that's going to go.
Yeah. I was going to say, I recently went to the Atlanta Blade Show, me and Mike both, and my first time, and I loved it. So I'll be back. I definitely will be back.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's talk about your show, Kevin.
All right. On November the 16th, we're having the first time in the Ellerville, the history, that we are going to be having a knife show here. It's going to take place in the old American Legion building, but don't worry, the American Legion did not disband. They actually moved, but a nice man, a great man here from town bought the place. He's renovating it, and it's a very, very nice place, and I just cannot wait. But we're going to have people from all over the United States coming. We got a lot of the YouTube channels are coming. We're going to be, and we got 30 tables reserved already. So I'm excited to get people in here. We're going to have food trucks. It's just going to be really, really nice. And I've got an exclusive surprise for the show, for the knife show. I'm going to have 100 exclusive knives, and I'm going to be revealing that here. Not here, but when I get them in, and that should be maybe at the end of the week or the first of next week, and it's going to be really, really nice.
Is this 100 knives that you've had made especially for the show?
That's right, sir.
Wow, that's a great thing to do.
Yeah. So, off the top of your head, do you know some of the channels that are going to be there?
Yes, sir. Deep South Cutlery, Rasputin's Castle. We got Cheesy Moon Workshop is coming.
Cool. I like
Terry's Knives and Man Stuff is coming.
Excellent.
AW Custom Designs is coming. You got Hambone Blades is coming. there's several that's told me that they're going to come. You put me on the spot here. Sorry if I missed someone. I should have wrote all the channels down. I'm sorry.
Yeah, as we advertise that, maybe you want to send me a list of those, right?
I will.
We can put them out there and let people see. Maybe generate some more activity. It's only $1, right?
That's right. That's right. And that $1 now, the $1 is going to get you a wristband. Go and come as you please. And also, you're going to be receiving a ticket. Kind of like a raffle ticket. And it depends on how well the show goes or the auction goes in October. We're gonna that one ticket. Let's just say I'm sorry. Let me start over. It all depends on how that auction goes in October. We're going to use most of the funds to pay for the venue, but whatever's left over, I'm going to be buying some nice knives. And that one ticket that you get, you can go in and choose what the bucket you want to put in to win that knife. So it's not like it's going to go to waste. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get a chance to win something. So it's going to be very cool.
That's really good. Have you opened that? Is that just for the people on the day then, I take it?
On what, sir?
The buying the ticket, or is that open to outsiders from your channel to buy a $1 ticket?
Well, that's just for the people that come. That's just for the people that come.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, Patriot Knife and Tool asks, how do you juggle that all? That was one of my questions. Is you are so busy, man, going out, fetching knives, fixing knives, mailing knives, the charity work you do. I know you have a piece of property and critters that you take care of.
Michael,
juggle that.
Michael, he just got a better pension than us too. It's just tough.
Definitely healthier. That's for
sure. It's always a challenge, man, but I get it done by the grace of God is all I can say.
Mm-hmm.
He's there. That's all I can say, man. I don't, if I sit back and look at how I do things and try to understand it, I can't, it just gets done, and I'm thankful that I can do it. I really am. And it's so much fun. It really is so much fun.
I mean, yeah, I would do about 4 or 5 videos a week. And I find that takes up an awful lot of my time just doing them little videos. And again, I'm not doing the research that you do. I admire anybody that can fit that into their schedule. And then you do auctions, and then you're setting the show up. You've got my respect.
Well, I appreciate that, sir. But it's just fun to me, and I don't look like it as a job. I treat it like it's my job, but I don't look at it like it's my job. It's the passion, and I just love knives, and I like to share my passion with people, and
that is the important bit. If you have nobody to share it with, it's not a passion. It's just your own little hobby. The passion is getting it out to people, and that's why I enjoy doing them, and why I've done it for years now.
That's where I'm at too. I just, I just put them out there, and something like today I did video on. I know nobody's gonna watch a video, but I don't care. It's I did a video on keychain knives, right? Little tiny keychain knives, and a little bit of history on them, where they came from, and actually, in the research I did for the video, there's a lot of companies still making them things, the little keychain knives. Well, I was surprised, but I just do it just to show them. Say, maybe, some people see things and say, "Man, I never seen that before." Like this Switzer, knife I had in
I just seen those somewhere, not in person. I saw them online, and I'm like, man, I got to get me one of those because it looks like a winger, a Victorinox.
Yeah, very much.
Well, one I like this. That's what attracted me to it. And this the scales on it, I can't even describe it. It's like rubber, but it's not rubber. So it's not as sticky as rubber. And they kind of have a construction like a Victorinox, it's not finely made. It's all uneven, but it's well made. And it has a lock and blade. So that's a liner lock and blade. And initially when I did the interview or the review on that, I didn't know how to shut it. And so I thought, you had to get in here like this and try to shut it. But actually this little mark right there
really
is the button. So all you got to do is push the button and it just shuts.
I need one of them myself.
They're nice.
Me too, man.
They're really
me too. You've sold me already, Mike.
So
I didn't realize that they were locking nice. I thought they were all just slip joints.
Yeah, they're well, only the main blade locks, on there.
Yeah, but I mean that's the main one you're going to want to lock.
Yeah,
I like it.
It has kind of a different punch, but it's very sharp and works really well, and it has a hole in it like it's supposed to.
Oh, so and all.
Yeah.
But I really like that nail nick. You can see through it. I really love that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a modern design.
Well, do they do a single blade one with just a locking blade on it? Do you know? Not of this. Okay, not of this. But they have different models of knives. They even have fixed blades. Right.
So if you look them up online, Switzer.
Is that the only one that's got a locking blade on it? That one that you've got?
I don't. That's the only blade on this knife that locks.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, but as far as a single lock and blade, they may have one. I don't know. They have a bunch of different knives.
What model is that, Mike?
Oh man, it's just called. I'm
gonna write that down.
Swiss. Me too. The model number is 420. This is embarrassing, Kevin.
I'm just wondering.
And let's be honest, you really should be embarrassed. That's ridiculous.
420-44.
420-44.
Yeah. And they have a website, but I got this at. So that's another thing. So if you go to Chicago Knife Works, this thing's only $24, and online, I think it's like 56 pounds, something like that, 56 euros.
What do you call the company? Brisa?
Switzer. SWI.
ZZER, ain't
it? SWIZA.
Swizza.
I shall be looking at that tonight.
Yeah, they are. I like it. I'm going to carry it now. When I, I was so stupid. I did the review on it, and I said, I kind of like the knife, but it's so hard to pull that liner lock over. That just kills it for me. And then one of my subscribers said, "Yeah, you just push the button."
Oh man,
that's
I believe it. I'd been the same way. I'd be like, how do you close this?
Yeah,
it's a hobby that can humble you very regularly.
True.
One guy told me that, and then Gizmo told me it too. So I had two of them tell me. Yeah, that's important though, because my ego is so big. If I never get humbled, it would just,
Yeah, you hide it so well, Mike.
Yeah, I think I do. I'm really humble. My wife, I tell my wife that, and she's like, "What?" So she doesn't believe it at all.
No. Kevin, how did you get started in knife collecting? Was that from a young age, or is it something you just started in retirement, sort of thing?
Well, it was. I always go back to my dad. I always seen him. He had a 1964 to 1969 slimline trapper case, red bone handle, and he would. I'm telling you, I actually seen him shave his face in the mirror with that thing. He really did. He kept that thing razor sharp. And when I was 7 years old, he gave me my first. My first knife. It was a sawbuck debuster, 1977 sawbuck debuster, and I got that knife today. And I've started there, just loving knives, and but I didn't really get into heavy collecting until maybe when I was in my 30s. I started buying some knives here and there. Nothing like I do today, but I really, since I retired from the National Park Service back in 21, it's just exploded. My passion for knives and stuff like that, just to give me something to do. And I've just got more time to do it now. And back in 2011 2009, when I started with the National Park Service, I worked with my buddy Wade Helms, and he really he threw gasoline on the fire, just put it that way, with knives. He was showing me how he repaired the knives and all this and that, and that just opened up a whole new world for me with knives. And it started from there, but back in 2002, I actually started buying knives, cleaning them up a little bit, and putting them on eBay. That's when I joined eBay. But like I said, about 2009, when I met Wade, he's the one that really threw gasoline on the fire. So
Wade is one of the best characters you ever see on. Yeah, I love your dinner time chats. We swap knives, and I just love them.
Yeah.
They're fantastic.
Well, I appreciate that, buddy. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, we really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's funny. On a Tuesday night before I do the podcast, I have the two boys that do my podcast. We meet up to have a wee chat about Thursday, and you can guarantee we never touch Thursday. We just start talking about knives, and it all goes out the window. There's no order in it whatsoever. And it's a joy when you meet people like that who have got the same passion.
That's right, sir.
Hey, let me throw out here. Some of y'all may have seen this, but RJ and Tom's Knife Delights are doing something different called Knife News, and I think that's just if y'all aren't aware of that, what they do is it's a very short show. It's not live, it's pre-recorded. And so they're just getting together, talking about, hey, what's new going on in the community, what's new, what's out there. And it's 15, 20 minutes. And they post that show Saturday morning so that guys can sit there, drink their coffee, and look at what's new, right? And I don't know how you feel. I think that is fantastic.
I like that. So it's not live, it's recorded?
Yeah, it's going to be pre-recorded on Thursday and then released on Saturday.
Okay.
And that's just the whole idea. It's just a news show, right?
I like that.
Yeah, because I see a lot of like deals and things like that, and I'll post them every now and then. But you may see my community page, and you may not.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a really cool thing, and I think it's something we need. So y'all check that out if you
I will.
Haven't seen it. I think that I hope that goes well for them. I really do.
Me too.
It's funny you're talking about community page, which is a new thing for YouTube. I've never seen a community page. This is going to sound. I have that many channels that I want to watch and see of people that I follow. Then the community side is going in then, and you're delving into what is it? Something you put up a blog or something where you talk.
It's on your. It's one of the options you have on your channel, right? So if you go up at the top, if you go to your channel. Right up at the top, you have a bar up there. It says videos, shorts, lives. Yeah. There's other stuff there. So if you scroll through that, it says community. And so it's just a way for you to reach out for your subscribers and followers, to give them information that you wouldn't normally do, put a video on.
So it's only subscribers that get to see that community page?
Anybody, no. Anybody who clicks on your channel.
So, all right.
And it works the same as a video. So when say you go in and you say Heine Haynes has got some new Rosecraft blades in, right?
Yeah.
You can put that on your community page, and that goes out just like a video. So it'll pop up, and anybody who's watching your feed, it'll pop up automatically in it, right?
Right.
And, so they don't have to click on it. They don't have to actually go to your community page. It'll broadcast, in other words, just like a video does.
I had no idea how that worked. No idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
It's easy to do. I mean,
yeah, that sounds. I'd rather do that than shorts. I do not like shorts. They come up on your feed by the hundreds, and
yeah,
I like to see a video. I'm one of those people that I would watch long videos before I'll watch short ones, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and it's a good way to reach out and keep people informed. What I do a lot on my community page is I'll post, like, I'll see a video. I think the last one I did was Patriot EDC, I think was the last one I posted, but he did an interesting video. And so, like, I'm watching all these videos, and when I see like a really interesting video or one that's informative that I think people will like, you can share that to your community page, right? And so it's one way for you to share a channel is share that to your community page.
Is it all typing, or do you actually do a video?
It's just like if you were to post anywhere else on the internet. And so if I wanted to share this video, I hit share, like I'm watching the video, right? I hit share, and then add it to my post. And then it'll ask me if I'm going to post a video or a post. And so I'm adding a post.
No,
and then you just type in whatever you want.
It's all just typing. It's not, you don't take a video of you talking about it. It's just typing.
Yeah, I just type. You just type in, and then it'll post, right, with your comments. Like I think I put, hey guys, you should watch this, or it's cool, or something.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I've not used it.
Yeah, I've used it. Like I'll see things like old knives. Like I get a lot of feeds on Facebook for what's it called, archaeology, right? And so when I see feeds in there where they dug up a sword or an old pocket knife or something like that, I'll post that on my community thing, and I get pretty good feedback. People think it's kind of neat, and I'll make a comment on it. But
that's interesting. Yeah,
it's just another way to share, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, whoo doggy, oh, what you carrying today out there in YouTube land?
There's another thing for Kevin. When you found that Grail case knife, I watched the video when you actually found it, but you didn't know what it was until you got it back home and checked it out. Do you remember that old case you got?
The one I paid $5 for? Is that what you're talking about?
That was such a find.
Yeah, that was a good feeling.
That knife came out beautiful.
It did.
That knife came out beautiful.
It did. It really did. That's the thrill of the hunt right there. That right there.
Absolutely.
It's always, I always say, you don't know what you're looking for until you find it, and I'll tell you the truth, the way it looked, and he was just in that little bowl, and I think I've got all of them for $35, and I really didn't think it was much to it until I got home and looked in the book. I'm like, oh my God, that's the best Barlow case knife that you can actually find, for case, and it's
fantastic.
It's amazing. Yeah, it was a sheepfoot blade as the main blade. It was nice.
Yeah.
It really was.
Really nice.
Bone handles was perfect.
I mean, that's what people, because I don't know, you get invested when you see something like that. then you want to see it cleaned up, and the whole thing just rolls on like moss. It's just it was really nice. I love an ending like that where it is really good.
Yeah, sure. It worked out really good. I love stuff like that. Love it.
Randy says he just has a puppy for his EDC. I'm carrying this. I carried that buck for a long time. I finally got into this Kaiser here. It's a Kaiser Towser, standard kind of sheepdog kind of blade. But I've been carrying this. And then I went back to my, I think the last video I showed this too, but I went back to my trapper. I'm carrying that. Where is it? I don't know what I did with it. Ugh. Here it is. And I carry my little yellow Delrin trapper. What you been carrying, Kevin?
Well, today I got on me. I've got my Spyderco Hair 3 here. Absolutely love this knife. I've been looking for this knife for a long time. Let's see.
They're great knives. They're great knives.
They are, and I just love it mainly because you can open it and close it with one hand. It's got that compression lock, and I love it. I really do. And then I got my little bitty Spyderco. It's the Dragonfly 2. It's got the Zomé green. The handles, it kind of looks like the camouflage there.
Yeah.
That's
the old one, right? With the molded?
This is actually this Dragonfly 2 right here. See?
I got you.
Yeah, beautiful knife. And the other knife I'm carrying, I absolutely love this knife too. This will be my last one. I really didn't pack hard for this. But it's the Remington knife. If y'all remember, it was a second from the factory, and it had a broke spring too, and it was a Remington trapper, and I made it into a single blade trap. I
remember blade. That. Yeah,
and it's just an absolutely gorgeous knife here. See that right there?
That is lovely. Yeah.
And I mean, it's got the snap and everything, and it turned out good.
Have you tried making back springs for your knives yet?
No, ain't that good, man. That's going to take a specialist surgeon for that.
Now that you know how to heat that metal up,
yeah,
it's just cutting it out. It's just like
any other
metal.
It just takes so much time to do that too, man. I did get a tip from a good friend of mine, the Ham-on Blades. He don't live far from here. I just encountered where somebody sent in a Imperial Frontier. It's got the back spring. It's kind of like the LB7s where it's got the back spring lock, and then it's got that bar up underneath it that pushes that back spring up to lock the blade.
Right.
Well, that bar don't have no tension in it at all. And then he gave me a tip today that I might be trying here in a few weeks, where I got to heat it where the magnet won't stick to it. Then you bend it during that time towards the lock back spring, right, that keeps the blade locked. And then you throw it into the oven for 2 hours at 550 degrees, and it's supposed to work. So we're going to try that here.
That sounds interesting.
The future. So we can't wait to try that.
We'll talk about that more later.
Okay.
I'm afraid I've been working in my little office again today, and all I had on me was one of my favorite little blades. This is an Ashley Harrison custom in whiskey barrel oak.
Oh my goodness!
And it's just this is my little work knife when I want to have a wee knife just to do a bit of everything.
I love that, man. That's beautiful.
It is. It's just such a favorite. And my third finger goes right in the middle there, so
yeah,
so secure.
It's got the easy open access right there. I love that.
Right. Yeah, it has. It's lovely. Really nice knife.
Does he make one of those like that with a sheep foot blade as the main blade?
He'll do anything. This is his custom. Him and his father own Arthur Wright and Sons, a famous English Sheffield cutler. And Ashley does these custom knives in his spare time. He's the manager of the factory shop, but he makes these customs himself. in his spare time. He'll
Wow.
make you whatever you want.
That wood is beautiful.
It really is now. And he does so many different woods. I'm a bit of a wood freak at the minute. It's my latest craze, and I'm just gathering up so many different woods. It's lovely.
Yes.
I like the feel of wood in my hand. It's that wraparound feeling, the warm feeling of wood. Just that gets me. Yeah.
Right.
I like it too, but my wife kind of, she discourages that. So discussion for another day. All right. So do you know what that is, Kevin? A Gerber 06 G10? Gerber 06?
I do not right offhand.
You like them older Gerbers, don't you?
I do. Now that's my thing right there. I really love the Gerber knives. When I was in the Marine Corps, the first Gerber that I ever saw, believe it or not, his last name was Gober, Gober, and he had one. It was a fixed blade, and he brought that thing out to the field. Man, I love that thing. I loved it, and ever since then, I love them old USA made the Gerbers. And I have quite a few of them. So
it is knife crazy. It is 10:47 where Patty's at.
Yeah, just after 11:15.
Wow, man. I'd be in bed right now, Patty, if it was me.
I'm an insomniac. I just don't sleep. I could quite happily do this at 3 a.m.
Oh wow. Yeah. Man.
He's one of those retired people that are up all the time, but
yeah,
I keep my wife's schedule. So actually, I go to bed before my wife usually, and then I'm up early in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know. People keep saying to me since I retired, you must get bored. I've never been bored. I don't know what bored means. Mm-mm. I mean, I could sit for 2 hours and just read an article or do whatever. And I just don't get bored.
Right.
It's not
I
something
can't find the time,
No, and especially we were just talking again last night. Since I got sober in '89, and
awesome, buddy! Congratulations on that.
That's no problem. But I've never been. Now, before I got sober, boredom was something that just would have destroyed me. But since then, I've never had a bored day. I've never had a day where I thought, "Oh, I'm bored." Because if it's bored, just get up and do bloody something, and it goes away.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what it is, but the past, actually, probably a couple months, I just can't find the time to get everything done. I got all of that dye. I wanted to get into dyeing knives. I got a couple set aside for repair. Wanted to repair them. I've got so many things else going on, with family and all kinds of stuff going on, and just I can't get everything done.
I think you have got quite a lot of things going on in your life at the minute.
Yeah.
But I think what I find is the nice thing now that I'm retired, I've got this ability to say, well, I can do it next week. I think I've got this Spanish mañana come into me, where if I don't get it done, well, so what? You can do it tomorrow. I've nothing planned for tomorrow. So, and that's a big change in my life, just not having that pressure.
Yes.
I have to have it done. This is my hobby. If it doesn't get done today, I can get done whenever.
Right. I agree.
Stephen's giving a shout out to you there, Stephen. Terry, rather. Terry's giving you a shout out there.
Stephen Jeffrey. Yeah, it's really, thank you very much indeed. It's lovely to be together with these old timers. They put a young boy in just to make it look good.
Yeah, Stephen, we appreciate that, buddy. This is fun. I'm enjoying it.
That's why I did it. Yeah.
This is that.
Because you get tired of looking at old guys all the time.
Isn't it funny though that the longer you go around in YouTube and you see people and they make videos, and then you come on to a podcast, and I still get kind of starstruck when I see somebody who's got a channel that I like. You know what I mean? Like yours, Michael Limericha, and then you see Kevin's channel, and I love meeting people who are making a good success of their channel, and it's just, and even if it's not a successful channel, if it's somebody you connect with that only has 100 subs, it doesn't matter. I still enjoy watching somebody that's got 100 subs. I don't have this And that's the whole joy of it for me. It is a hobby. And if it ain't fun, I'll find another hobby. I've had lots of hobbies in my time.
Yeah, me too, buddy. Me too. But I just love knives. I always have.
Yeah. I was strange because I went off them. I mean, as a boy, we always had pocket knives, always. And then by the time I joined the Navy, I wasn't carrying a knife. And because of the troubles over here, you'd have got in trouble. And then it wasn't until, God, I would have been in my 50s when I started picking knives up because I was using them for the likes of bushcraft. I used to like go out camping with a hammock and disappear off up the woods. And then I started using knives for a purpose. But somewhere along the line, I managed to get into buying that first good one. I remember my wife buying me a Spyderco for my first, it was a Christmas present, and it was a Delica, Spyderco Delica. Well, I thought I had landed on the moon. It was a locking knife. I wasn't used to locking knives over here. It was always slip joints as a boy, and that set me off on a path of buying locking knives. Thankfully, I've come out of that and gone the other way completely.
Right.
But there's no story the same, and that's the nice bit.
All right. I picked up this. Let me show you some things I picked up.
Oh, this is exciting now.
Oh, let's see. I picked up this axe.
Oh, wow.
It's a Bridgeport. Are you familiar with those, Kevin?
No, sir.
Bridgeport manufacturing. So it's all steel.
That's beautiful.
This original handle on here, it's a little loose. We're going to fix that. But these, unfortunately, this is not a Boy Scout knife, but these are often Boy Scout knives. And it is a Boy Scout size. It's about a pound hatchet. And this one dates from around 1945 to 1955.
Wow.
You can tell by the colors. This is black right here. And they change the color about every 10 years. And
that looks like somebody would take the slates, get the nails out of the slates.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
But it's just a regular Boy Scout axe. And it's all metal, right? It's all metal. And I picked that up for $25.
I bet that's got some good carbon steel in it.
Oh, I can't wait to work on it. And then I picked this up. This is an early Western Model 901 utility knife. And really good shape on it. It would date between 1954 and 1960. But really good shape on it.
I love, one of my favorite knives to collect is a camping knife, whether it be Victorinox or any brand.
I got these. I showed these to you, Kevin. But those, so these are surgeon knives. They're friction folders, and so it has the tab here, and you just press on that tab and pull it out. And then that tab also is so that when you close it, when you take it open like this, it hits up against there, so it won't keep going.
Yeah.
And these have a lock on them, so that's kind of unusual. But it just slides across, a little button slides across there. And man, these things are in great shape. And these, I'm dating these between 1860 and 1880. Genuine tortoise shell.
That's got it's tortoise shell, right?
It's a genuine tortoise shell. Yeah.
Wow, man.
It's beautiful.
And in my video, I commented on how you can tell that's genuine. But there's a couple different things you can look for. But yeah, they are just really, look at that. Just I got 7 of them for a $1.45, man. It was crazy.
Wow.
And these things usually go for 100 or better. So this is for veins, and so they use that little pick. They get up underneath the vein and pull it out of the way, or it could pull tissue out of the way. But usually they use these to pull arteries and veins out of the way. And it came in a kit, and they use those kits because they didn't have that many hospitals back in the day, and a lot of times they did that surgery right in the house. And then I picked this fork up.
Oh.
This is a 4-tine, probably not used in a Civil War camp, but probably could have been during the Civil War period, because it's got the inlay pewter here.
Wow.
So those are pewter inlays, and it would date that time period, the Civil War time period.
That's a fancy knife for that period. That would have been an officer's fork.
Well, where do you do the video on it? Because I don't think a lot of people realize people didn't really use forks back then. So forks had a real rocky start, and people used to just use knives, poke the knife and, eat that way. And in the 1700s, they were forks were becoming more and more popular, but men thought it was unmanly to use a fork. And so when you look at early American flatware, they have knives and spoons, but forks were few and far between, right? And even the ones coming over from England were expensive and far between. And that was the other thing too. So the the forks that people were using were gold and silver, because of the acids in the food. Same idea with a fruit knife, right? And so they didn't use forks, because until nickel silver came along, they were too expensive for people.
Right.
It's funny you're talking about forks. I just picked this up. There's a company over here in the UK, and they make these. And this was a Viking fork. It's just a spike that was used for picking the meat up.
Yeah.
But a lovely barley twist. And this is the way they used to do that was a fancy one.
Yeah.
But that was what they call a Viking fork.
Yeah.
It is a replica, but it's one of those wee things. I like wee knickknacks like this that just give you an essence of what it was like.
Yeah.
It's not real, but it I just keep it here. I use it for poking and prying things constantly. It sits by my desk.
Yeah, I mean, they just used to use their knife.
Yeah.
To eat things with. And a lot of the argument was, the early forks were only 2 tines, right?
Yeah, the Viking one was got a Viking one.
You couldn't pick most food up with it. They'd rather use a spoon than a fork.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, they didn't have processed peas at the time.
Nah, they probably didn't eat peas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do I pick little like yourself. I like knickknacks that just are unusual or odd, not necessarily. Well, it is cutlery, I suppose, if you look at it like that. But
yeah, I don't know whether I showed you all this, but I showed you all, but I don't think I showed everybody. But I picked this knife up today. It's that old it's called it's a Remington R2 Fowler, right? Fowl as in bird, ducks, and geese. And it was a special knife, that hunters would use. And I think they discontinued them in '96, but really sexy, nice blade on that. And then this right here. But I mean, the only reason I picked this knife up is it's a different kind of knife, right? It has the choke blade on it. So you could see the 12 gauge and 20 gauge on there.
Yeah, coming across clear.
I got it upside down. Right there.
Very cool.
And it was used. I don't know. I haven't been hunting in a while, but I think nowadays those things are automatic. The choke adapters on shotguns. I think they're just slipped down in there and you turn them.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, they don't. In the old days, you used to have to change the setting on them, right, to make them a full choke and a wider choke and that kind of thing.
You know, that's the one thing I've never shot is a shotgun. Never shot one.
I would think you have plenty of them over there.
Oh, there was plenty here. I just wasn't in that sort of a frame of mind at the time.
A lot of fun. Americans are crazy, man. We just go out and we'll take watermelons and jugs of water and just take a shotgun and have a good time.
So do the boys here. As long as you got a farm to go and shoot on, you're allowed to do it. But it's just, I think it was just something that wouldn't have interested me. I'd rather have a long rifle and shoot it than a shotgun.
Yeah. I don't know. I like them all. But
well, I would take a 303 any day of the week. Royal Enfield 303. Oh, that was a beautiful rifle.
I've got two of them.
It would have took the shoulder clean off you.
Yeah, I've got two Enfields. One is a sporterized version. Do you know what that is, Patty?
No, never.
You know how the Enfield looks all blocky, and the stock goes all the way out to the end on it. So after the war, those things came in the United States. You could buy them for $25, and people would take them and cut that stock down to look more like a regular sportsman's rifle, bolt action rifle, you know. And so I've got one like that, and then I have one from 1916 that's the military configuration in it.
Yeah, I want a bit. Oh, missed that. Because the dollar store here has soda called Mountain Explosion, perfect for shooting.
Yeah, it's fun shooting soda bottles. It's kind of expensive. I used to buy those really cheap soda bottles, the dollar kind, because set up like they'd be a liter for $1, and it's cheap. You wouldn't want to drink the stuff, but when you hit it with a bullet, it sprays everywhere, and it's fun.
Talking things like that, I was doing the clear up and I found an old catapult and a little pouch with ball bearings in it that I had from when I used to bushcraft. And I found it in one of my old boxes here yesterday, I think it was. And I'm dying to get out and have a wee shoot with it. I haven't shot a catapult in quite a while now.
You ought to shoot it in the house. I'm sure that'll go over good.
But to be honest with you, out my window here, it's there's the garden. And then there's a drop down to the railway line.
Yeah,
which is about probably 40 feet down a hill. But there's trees at the top of it, and the birds are all sitting there. So I could have a go for old pigeons on the. Definitely have a go at the pigeons.
And pigeons are good to eat, right?
Yes,
not like a dove.
But if I shot one, I'd have to go 40 foot down the side of the railway, and I'm not doing that.
All right. Hey, we're talking nonsense, so I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. I know Kevin's busy, and he wanted to make sure we didn't go too long on it. So I just want to thank you again, Kevin, and a lot of exciting things you're doing. We'll put you out there and try to rival the Atlanta Blade Show.
I don't know about that, okay. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Kevin, if you don't mind, if you'd send me whether you're on Instagram, are you on Instagram?
I'm not on the Instagram, sir. I'm on Facebook. You on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. What's it? Yeah, or even send me an email. It's what do I see? Can I get you to send them my email?
Please, sir.
It's SG Anderson.
SG Anderson
0259
02 is that 0259?
Yeah.
At
gmail.com.
Gmail, okay.
Have you sent me the details of your auction? Sorry, not the auction, your show. And I'll put that up on my channel and give it a bit of a boost because half my subs are still in the US.
Okay.
So, I can still hit quite a few of the US boys.
I made a flyer. I'll send you that. The copy of that.
I'll get somebody to show me how to put that up because I'm technically stupid.
I tried to get that put up, Kevin, and I couldn't get it to work.
Ain't no big deal, buddy. Ain't no big deal.
I actually got it on my computer finally, but it won't transfer over to this. And I couldn't, like, I look on the bottom here, like you were talking about. We'll talk about that off air, but anyhow, I tried. And thanks everybody for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. It was great to see everybody. I know I didn't talk to you a lot, or acknowledge a lot of you because I was trying to give that attention to Kevin. You know, this is his moment, and so I really appreciate you for showing up, Kevin. Thanks again, Stephen.
Yes, sir. I just want to thank y'all for inviting me. I really had a ball on this, and Patty, it was nice to meet you, sir. Very honored to meet you.
And to you, really have enjoyed and enjoy your channel.
We're kind of crazy and no pressure, so it's a little bit of fun.
It is. I really enjoyed it. I really did. And thank you again, Mike, for inviting me, buddy.
All right, we're just going to go off air here. So I'm going to end the stream, guys. Thank you.
I'm going to send you an email, Patty.
Lovely. Cheers, buddy.
All right.